Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. Probably quite unsurprisingly, we're on our way to see yet another Honda CR-V. This one I've titled as the most unreliable CR-V in the world. Bit of context behind that, an interesting story. So about a week ago I go and see this CR-V. I spoke to the seller on the phone, we agreed a price, everything seemed good. Even when I got there, car looked good. It's white, it's a facelift, so it's got a more modern appearance to it. 1.6, so it's the cheap tax band as well. Fantastic. I'm looking around this thing, it's in good shape, got a good service history. The seller's even a nice guy to boot, which always helps. So I peer my head under the front of this car, and I notice that the gearbox is absolutely spewing oil out. I actually take a little video on my phone because usually in these circumstances, when you clamber back out from under the car and you say to the seller, it's news to them. Or they maybe even think you're trying to pull the wool over their eyes. So I take a little video, climb back out and say to him, you know the gearbox is leaking oil, by the way? At which point he goes, oh yeah, I'm aware of that. Okay, it'd been good to know up front, but never mind. What's the story there then? So it turns out he bought this car and not long after buying it, first and second gear decided to not work. I think they still worked, but they were really sticky. So he takes it to a garage, they diagnose the problem and quote him £2,000 to fix it. At which point he goes back to the garage he bought the car from, says we've got this quote, I need the car fixed. A big fight ensues over who's going to pay the £2,000 to fix it. Anyway, winds up being the garage, they pay for the repair, everyone's happy. Fast forward a year, same thing's happening. First and second gear are getting really sticky. So it seems like that garage repaired it and it's not lasted very long. So maybe the repair's not been the best. But there's also this additional problem now where the gearbox is pouring its oil out. So obviously one of the seals or the way that they've sealed it up has also failed. So I say to him at that point, well, I can't give you what we originally spoke about. I'm not going to be able to get near to that asking price because I now need to go off and pull that gearbox out and fix it, or find another gearbox to go in. And he's not happy with the offer. He wants as much as he can get for the car, so I bid him farewell. Well, a week rolls by, brings us up to today, and the seller's been in touch. And I don't know, maybe it's conscience, not wanting to sell the car to someone, knowing that there's a problem there, or whatever else. Maybe he's just deciding to cut his losses. But he said, I'll accept your offer. So that offer was £6,000. That's how much I'm buying this car for today. When I spoke to him a bit further, what he then went on to tell me was, when he got the gearbox fixed, he was back in love with the car, really enjoyed the car, liked it. However, at that point, the car started putting the engine light on, and it turned out it needed a set of glow plugs as well. Bizarre, absolutely bizarre on what are usually bulletproof cars. So I think the love has just gone for him. He's deciding to sell the car on, which is a bit of a shame really, now that he's spent all this money. But the gearbox is gone again. It's leaking. I've been told it's also sticking in first and second gear again, so it's going to need a bit of work. Let's take a bit of a tour of this one, shall we? So here she is, folks. Little troublemaker, eh? Good looking car though, isn't it? I mean, that would not look out of place on a dealer's forecourt. So let's start with the basics, given that I am now a proud owner of a Mk4 CR-V for about the millionth time. So it's a 1.6 diesel, it's a facelift, 2016 onwards, which means it's ULEZ compliant. Also means £35 a year road tax, also means 50, 60 miles to the gallon. Exactly what you want out of one of these cars. All is well. It's a forecourt ready car, if you like, other than that little problem at the front end there. Don't worry about that, we'll come on to that. Specification wise, privacy glass from factory, we've got heated seats, no wing, but we do have the roof rails. Now, whilst these weren't exactly rare, if you've got a CR-V and you wanted to buy them on the used market, second-hand ones, they're quite hard to find, so quite nice to have. And overall, it is a really nice, straight car. If only you don't peer your head under that front end, which we're about to do in a minute, but otherwise, it's nice and clean, it's very straight, no dents, no dings. It's been well kept as well. I can see from here, that's a new set of rear discs and pads in there. Still got the cross hatching on it a little bit. Tyre wise, I know we all love a good look at tyres. We got some, yes, the Landvigators on the rear here, the well-known Performax Landvigator. Fantastic, eh? What we got on the front, power cities. I mean, this is the great argument, isn't it? Do you go putting premium tyres on a car like this that's just going to be a workhorse? Personally, I would. It's the last bit of contact that you've got with the road should things go very wrong. But I can understand why a lot of people go a little bit cheaper. These wheel arch liners, yeah, they're pretty chewed up and they're pretty loose as well. I think possibly what's happened there is whoever's been working on the gearbox, they haven't refitted the under tray correctly. So those wheel arches, they haven't had anything to fix onto, so they've been hitting the wheels. That might account for some of the strange noises that the car's making at the moment. We will get it out on the road and I'll show you exactly what I mean. I think it's still safe to drive, but it is making a plethora of strange noises. The issue is, you know, that gearbox is problematic, so are all the noises just coming off of the gearbox, or is there something else wrong? I did hear a noise driving up here that makes me think that wheel bearing might be a little bit rough, but then again, yeah, there's every chance that's just flapping back and hitting the tyre, isn't it? Nicer level, nicer specification CR-V, where we've got these half leather, half Alcantara seats. They were obviously very proud of this back in the day because they put a little label on there letting you know that it was indeed Alcantara. So the car's done 87,000 miles and it's in decent shape for that. Heated seats, as I say. Oh yeah, proper CR-V this one. This screen, I've seen a few of them now, the facelift screen. Originally I thought this was like an aftermarket thing because it just looks a little bit chimsy, doesn't it? But some Japanese cars, especially from an era ago, they can be a bit like that. No need for fancy struts here. Good old weight saver stick will do the trick for us. This is Japanese simplicity. And there we go, the little Honda 1.6 Earth Dreams engine. A lot of people shunned these, you know. I guess it was because of the size of it. A 1.6 maybe just didn't sound enough for a car of this size. Remember, it does have a turbo in there as well. But these do drive great, torquey, fuel efficient. They drive better, they feel more powerful than the 2 litre naturally aspirated petrol, as you'd probably expect because of the turbo. Good little engine, we'll talk more about it when we get out on the road. And also, this is a good lesson as to why you always need to look under a car when you're thinking about buying it. Because from here, all looks well, doesn't it? I mean, one thing I do spot, the slave cylinder on the clutch there, does look to be particularly fresh. I wonder if they've replaced the clutch when they've had that gearbox off, trying to do that repair on it. Anyway, the faint of hearted might wish to look away now because I'm going to go under and show you its skeletons. Ugh, me and the underbody of this CR-V becoming like old friends already. Jeez, what did you do with your Thursday afternoon? I crawled about in a public place underneath a Honda CR-V. Not in a good place, that gearbox. It's got some issues. That's the thing, if it was just a gearbox leak, look at the state of me. If it was just a gearbox leak, I'd be inclined to pull that off and get a look at where it's leaking, maybe reseal it, maybe find the seal that's failed and replace that. But given that it doesn't drive very well either, as we'll come on to, I think it's time that gearbox just gets pulled out, put to one side, and we get a proper refurbished one in there. I mean, of course, if we've got it on a ramp and we're going to the lengths of doing gearbox repairs or gearbox swaps on it, we're going to be giving it a proper service as well. So we'll make sure everything that needs done is going to get done for the car. You know what's interesting? Because I lived with a pre-facelift CR-V for years, you become really attuned to all the little changes they made that otherwise would be very subtle. This screen, they also changed that. That is now like a piano black insert on the facelifts. Down here, it's a bit odd. So you got the cup holders here in the pre-facelift, but it had a cover that folded over. I think I preferred that. There's no cover here. There's just an added bit of storage, I guess. It's probably cheaper to make that, isn't it? And of course, heated seats. Mine didn't have heated seats. A little bit of stitching. Look at that. The Germans have got nothing to worry about, but still, it's nice, isn't it? Right, I think let's get it out of drive. Hopefully the gearbox doesn't decide today's the day that it's going to give up. It deserves another shot, this car, doesn't it? I mean, otherwise, it's a great... Almost instantly there. That does not feel right. Yeah, it ain't right. Having to force it into first gear, and again, because I'm so attuned to how a CR-V should feel, I can tell you right away, it just ain't right. Anyway, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, it deserves another shot, this car. I mean, everything else on it seems absolutely fine. It's a good car, it's rust free, largely. I mean, I know you might see a little bit of surface rust when I've gone under at that front subframe, which we paint up when we take off, by the way. Rub it back, get the rust off and repaint it, even though it is just surface rust. The body of this is very rust free, the engine is good. This car's got a lot of life, a lot of life left to give. It's funny because the only other CR-V that I've seen that had this problem was my ancient Mk4 CR-V, and I just kind of put that down to the mileage. I mean, the thing had done like, I think it was like 320,000 miles by the time I got rid of it. Strange, because once you're above second gear, it feels all right. Yeah, I do notice a bit of a rumble coming from the near side there, just as we started to get up to speed. And this is the problem, isn't it? I know the gearbox is obviously faulty. To what extent the faults are, I don't know. So I don't know if the noise that I'm hearing, it's a good engine, torquey. I don't know if what I'm hearing there is just coming off of the gearbox. It could be making any manner of weird and wonderful sound at this point. Oh yeah, here comes a bit of a whine from it as well. Jeez. How can a repair fail that quickly? How can a year and a half down the line, the same problem, the same gearbox have the same issues? Yeah, it's whining away there, and it's got a kind of humming noise coming from it as well. I'm not going to take this too far today, to be honest with you. And that first and second gear, should I need to use them, they're really quite sticky. It's hard to get them in. Almost like a synchro mesh problem. There's a lot to be said for older cars like this, isn't there? The way in which, you know, I'm talking about the gearbox having a problem, and you almost speak about it like Lego, don't you? Oh, the gearbox has a problem, not a big deal, we'll find another one. Parts are plentiful, reasonably affordable still, even though they've gone up. Parts for dependable, repairable cars like this have definitely gone up in the last few years, but still relatively affordable. It's no big deal. I mean, this must be one of the last cars that you can do that with. At 2016, that's when things started to get really quite complicated, and we got these different electric hybrid drivetrains, we got these complicated dual clutch, dry clutch gearboxes with the hybrid motor built in. There's not a chance you can repair those in the same way that we can go about repairing this. I was going to make a video on this, I might already uploaded it. That is just the way that YouTube scheduling works. Sometimes other videos come up first. But there's a lot to be said for stuff like this. And as I say, this car's got a long life ahead of it. I'm absolutely certain of it. It just needs that little bit of TLC at this point, a little bit of a midlife rejuvenation. And that's what I mean. On newer stuff, when that reaches 10, 15 years old and it needs a gearbox, when it needs a dry dual clutch with hybrid motor gearbox replaced, I can't see that being cheap, and I can't see your everyday mechanic being able to do that kind of thing. You need dealership level software for a start to code it in. So yeah, I think what we're driving here, it's a bit of a conclusion. It's a bit of a conclusion to a world of cars that you can buy and keep running yourself. And that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Anyway, not to end on a downer, I do hope you like this new CR-V. If you'd like to follow along with the repair process, then hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. I'll be starting work on this in the next few days. It'll probably be ready to go. It'll be a transformed car in a week or two's time. So I'll make an update video. I'll share it with you and let you see what this car's become. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you for the next one.